Good evening, YouTube. This is Kaylin String coming at you with my regular Sunday night dinner. And this is the second of the 2 vegetarian Norwegian Arctic field rations that I had. This is menu 12, pasta and tomato sauce. And the text on here is a little bit clearer than my previous one. It's listed in 3 languages. So the middle is the English on these. And this has a best by date of September of this year. Has a wrinkle in the label, so that might be a bit hard to pick out. Plus my phone camera doesn't want to focus on it. But anyway, I got a kettle of water on the stove coming up to a boil. This came from foreignmre.com. It's one of the last orders that I placed. I don't know, I might have had this one, maybe the second to the last order that I've placed, but I haven't ordered anything from them for a while. They are in the process of getting ready to move to their new location, so they don't have much in stock right now. But you open these from the lower left corner, and it makes it easy to open. I'm going to turn it this way so I can open it the rest of the way. Right out the top, the Cranberry Protein Bar, which is like a granola bar. I have only had the cranberry and the chocolate bars. I have not had any of the other flavors, but I know they're out there. I see 6 in here, 7, so thanks for dropping in. I see Burger Butt and Burger Butt. Spicy sauce. This is actually a pretty good sauce. Got the Polder Mill coffee. It's a Colombian coffee. That will go into my foreign MRE mug. And got the wet wipe. This is an older ration, so this is how the gum used to be. Now it comes in a slightly different packaging from when I have seen in reviews of newer versions of this ration. And here is the main itself, the pasta in the tomato sauce. On the other side it says real field meal. I have when I've had just these by themselves outside of a ration, I have taken these camping and they have been very, very, they filled me up. So, and we have a very reflective package. So it's tropical fruit mix. It will be hard to see because this is a reflective package, and I have never had this out of one of these rations before. I got the lemon candy. I have had this. These took a little heat because some of them are stuck together, but that's okay. It says citron, but it's actually lemon. It kind of reminds me of the lemon drops candies, not the lemon heads, but the lemon drops candies. Got the spoon. And we got the peach drink. And the powder is in the zipper, which I don't like about this. Sometimes these drink powders can be clumped up inside the package. Even if they're very fresh, that's just the nature of the powder. Well, I see 6, but they may not be chatting. They may be lurking, and that's fine. Well, there is Easy Money. Welcome, thanks for dropping in. This is a gusseted pouch. Then the last thing in here is a 1 liter Ziploc bag. You would use this either to pack out your trash or to store anything that you haven't used, or if you need to purify a liter of water. And you would have to have your own way of purifying the water. So that is it. I'm going to put this behind my water bottle. So I am going to put aside everything that I'm not going to use. I will save these for later. And these spoons are not really long enough to get into the bag. So I didn't bring it out with me when I was setting up, but I will get it. I will get a longer teaspoon. There is Christine in the house. Thanks for dropping in. But I will save the spoon and add it to my stash of plastic spoons for emergency purposes. I'm not a gum chewer, but I do save the gum. So my drink mix will go into my drinking jar, but I will mix it in the bag. Don't get a hiss out of this because the zipper is closed. There was a hiss when I popped the zipper. It's like a rotini pasta. Or maybe it's smaller than that. It's smaller pieces, so it's a really, really small pasta, like ridges. And since this ration does not come with sugar and creamer, I add it on my own. So this is what the coffee looks like. It's a dark roast. That's just my creamer and sugar tossed in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and get my kettle for pouring the water into here and into my mug. Plus, I'm going to get a longer spoon so I can stir that. But I will be using my foreignemery.com Sport. It's made of titanium. You can still get these and the mugs off their website, foreignemery.com. But anyway, I will be right back. You want to mix these up very, very well to avoid any dry clumps that you may end up with after you wait the required amount of time to let this reconstitute. Oops, sorry about that. I'm going to go and zip this. I'm going to put this off to the side. And I will stir my coffee. So as of tonight, I am out of complete rations. I have a bunch of ration stuff, like some mains and a few sides and things like that. So that is the coffee done. I'm going to put that back here. I'm going to open up the peach drink, get that going. Oh, that didn't rip very well. Oops, sorry, I froze for a second. See, it is clumped right there at the top. I'm actually going to use my fingernail to clean it out, the powder out of the zipper, so I can zip this thing closed because it is clumped into the zipper. They do not seal these drink pouches like they do the main entree pouches, and that's a shame because it makes it harder to mix it in the pouch if the zipper is clogged. There we go. A bag. Try to get some of that to settle down. Ration drink. They have a bit of moisture to them, so they clump up. That's all the water I'm going to put in there. I'm going to close it up, but I'm going to fold it over a couple of times. And then shake the living crap out of it. Now there's still some clogged up in the zipper. Not too for a I do like the flavor of these drinks. They just need to work on their packaging. But that should do it. I'm going to go ahead and pour it into the drinking jar. And I will add a little bit more water to that should do it. This is to do my drink mixes. I don't use the full amount of the water. At first, and then I add a little bit more water later. Spilled some water, but that's okay. So anyway, there is a peach drink. So now I will open up everything else. Well, there's only two more things to open. Got the fruit mix. It's like a dried fruit. Let's see. Oh, if you're referring to the Norwegian drink mixes, yeah, I mean, I have a tendency, if I just have a bunch of random ration stuff, like I get out of mystery boxes, or if someone sends me a whole box of stuff, you know, I will nip on them. Oh, yeah, because, see, freeze-dried, they will take the heat better than a wet pack. I decided to get the cheaters out because I cannot find a tear notch on here, so I will go ahead and cut this open. Pick up a couple of these because some of these are really small pieces. So there's a close-up of the fruit mix. Here is Sunshine Side of Life 77 in the house. Thanks for dropping in. There is Prep For It here. I'm going to go ahead and put those back down. And I will open this Cranberry Protein Bar. These are very good bars. There is Quint in the house. Thanks for dropping in. This is the vegetarian ration, menu 12, Norwegian Arctic Field ration. It's pasta and tomato sauce. Now these bars can be a bit sticky. You can see the cranberries or bits of cranberry throughout the bar. Oh, my ration trash is just going behind my water bottle and my peach drink because I'm using the ration bag as my trash bag. Of course, I'm not going to open the spicy sauce. I don't know if this is going to need it. This is by Orifo, and this is a company that puts their stuff in quite a few European rations. So I will just set it off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and try this some of this fruit mix. I can definitely tell that's peach and papaya. And I believe the yellow might be pineapple. Although it may be hard to see the color. Yeah, I have really enjoyed the Orifo drinks. I'd love to get some more European rations so I can get some more of those. Orifo does the tuna packets in the British rations, and I believe German and maybe Swedish or Swiss, I'm not sure, but yeah, Orifo, yeah, they've done the nuts, the vacuum sealed nuts. Those are good. They're almost up there with Nutwalker. I'm gonna take a bite of this Cranberry Protein Bar. I would love to get a whole case of these things. You know, traversing food recently, or not as maybe a couple months ago, he did a Norwegian Arctic field ration that had a blueberry protein bar. I think that would be awesome. Yeah, these bars are awesome. I would love to be able to just get a whole bunch of them. You know, the chocolate ones are really good. They're kind of like the chocolate cookie bars from Orifo. Yeah, I would love to get my paws on one of those blueberry protein bars out of an Norwegian AFR. That'd be awesome. I'm gonna give my I almost can't shake it. It's absorbed that much. In the winter, I will be using one of my Reflectix bags to put this in to trap the heat. But I'm not doing that this time. I just took a drink of my peach. You can get some flavored sardines or flavored, similar fishes like the sprats that I've had from Polish Rations. I like the Polish sprats that I've had. Ooh, this is a little crooked. There we go. Sorry about that, but the last time I had the Polish sprats, I really enjoyed those. But if you get some of those kinds of canned fishes that have different flavors in them or have other ingredients like, flavored oil or seasonings or tomato sauce or something like that, that cuts the fishiness. But there are some out there that are just in oil that have no extra ingredients, and they're not that overly fishy smelling or tasting. Of course, a smelt, that's actually my favorite of those small fishes because, that is something that we ate a lot when I was younger, and we actually had it not too long ago. It was in July. We actually fried it over in my mom's apartment. We went through like three, I don't remember what the size, they're pretty good size packs of them, but they're about the size of a sardine. And some of them may be as big as this protein bar with that bite taken out of it, or maybe as long as a sauce packet. But we love the deep fried smelt. You lightly bread them or batter them. The tails are on, but the heads are off. Yeah, that's how my family likes them, and we could just go bonkers on those smelts. Unfortunately, I don't have access to Trader Joe's here. I don't have access to Whole Foods unless I go through Amazon. there is a place here in the area called Gateway Market. I think I've only been there once, and someone took me there because it's quite a few blocks from a bus stop. Oh, sorry, Prep for it. I hope I didn't upset you by that. Gonna take a drink of my coffee. The store where I get my halal meats from has a few of the canned fishes, but they're mainly sardines or mackerel. I'm going to open this up, see how it's looking. I'm going to give it another stir. I think this might be ready. Now, these pasta pieces are not all that big at the start, but that's what it's looking like now, so I think this is ready. Again, sorry about that. There is Mike in the house. This is a lot lighter in color than I expected. These almost give you as much food as a Mountain House. But I will guarantee if you take one of these camping, you will eat the whole thing. Yeah, that's good enough. I expected a light, a darker tomato sauce, but I think there are other ingredients in here to make it lighter. Thanks for dropping in, Quint. Hope to see you next time. Yeah, when I'm referring to what you buy in, but the Mountain House entrees that you get in the MCWs, they almost give you this much. But This is actually pretty good. The TVP, or textured vegetable protein bits, to give it that meaty texture, like there's meat in here, but there's not. This is vegetarian. But there's bits of onion. I can definitely pick up on that. Let's see. Oh, here. I don't know how well this will work. This is the ingredients. Yeah, I and they put Tabasco sauce in here. And which is basically vitamin C, for a little bit of like a citrus type note, because you get that from ascorbic acid. Garlic in here. I really enjoy that. Oops. Sorry about that. Keep bumping this thing. But this is good. Picking up my air conditioner is kicking on. It comes on for a while, then it shuts off, just like when it's in heat mode. Now, this is my new one that I got not this past Friday, but the Friday before, when my other one completely crapped out. It would run, the fan would. Earlier in the week, it got a total clean out by the maintenance guy, but yeah, I got a new one and I'm loving it. Oh, dang, you need, it's a little warm over there, and I bet it's humid too. I know before I got my new unit, I was sweating like a horse. Myself off, or if I get myself dried off, then I'm sweating again. I just us as UK, but it has garlic in it. Oh yeah, a dry heat feels than humidity. And that just drove me up the wall backwards when I was in Arkansas back in the 80s. One day it got up to 11 temperature. I was watching the Weather Channel on the little TV I had in my dorm room. I was taking summer classes at the time. And I could swear the heat index was higher than 117. Thanks for dropping in. Vegetarian pasta with tomato sauce. But it's a lighter color sauce than I expected. But I'm okay with that. I'm enjoying this. The pasta itself, it's like strips of ridged pasta. And when pasta has a shape like this, the sauce clings to it. And it's like it attracts the sauce. Yeah, I bet your generator's getting a workout. Go for some more of this peach. I've only had the peach and the lemon out of these rations. I've never had any of the other flavors that do exist. I just keep chowing down on this stuff. Wow. I don't tolerate heat that well, so I would be in a world of... So it is actually cooler this month than it was last month. We had heat in the first week. We basically did heat like we are known for. So there's something weird with the weather. We had a good storm a few days ago. I showed or my plants fared fairly well. Spicy Tuna Rolls is here. Thanks for dropping in. Angry Blacksmith is here. Vegetarian pasta with tomato sauce. Norwegian Arctic Field Ration Menu 12. From I have not checked their site lately, so I don't know what they have as far as inventory goes, since they are working on getting the new place ready for them to move into. And if you go to the Sleepy Dog Construction channel, there are videos on the progress of the build. So I have not checked that. With notifications on it. But Art and Nina will be moving in there when it's finished, and they will have more space to not only store rations, but there will be is designated as a YouTube studio. James Ortiz in the house. Thanks for dropping in. But once they get all that set up, they let's see. See, did Elsie sneak in here through the cat door? I don't see his name. Maybe he is here. But Elsie, if you're here, thanks for dropping in. There you are, Elsie. In pasta and tomato sauce. And I'm really liking it. This over here is a dried fruit mix. Kind of the same color scheme going on here. Pineapple. Yep. This is the Cranberry Protein Bar. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I hope I get to camp again before the end of the year. I've reached out to the White Eagle Powwow about volunteering again. So I'm waiting on a contact from that. I have done the kids' activities at a place called so I have to get a ride there. And it was last year I was out there, I was packing up my tent, and my zipper pull on my screen door literally came off in my hand as I was closing that screen door of my tent, so I would not be able to open that one again. Plus, that was a cheap crap tent anyway. The ventilation sucked. And then last year, one of my sisters gave me a Eureka tent. It's got more ventilation. I can open up the side vents. It just depends on what I need. Plus, there's a back ventilation as well. So, oh wow, Mike, I hope you're having a good time. There's Gardening Warrior Q in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Having some Norwegian food. Internet made issues when I was watching Garden State Gardener stream before I ducked out to come on to my own live, and it was buffering, so I don't know if that was on his end. I know he was freezing up quite a bit. Yeah, I hope it's okay. I've had my connection can don't go on as a panel guest. I tried that once on Gil's live show, and it was a complete disaster. Oh wow, Mike. Is it like an Arab Christian wedding or a Sikh or a Jewish wedding? Hope I'm not getting too personal with that, but I have been to Muslim weddings. In fact, there is one next month that for since I know the mosque kitchen for those that are coming in to cook that are not regulars, I'm there to show them where things are and just generally help out. Oh, cool. Denomination called Christian Church, or there's like, there may be some Orthodox type. I don't know if they would be related to like Greek Orthodox, or I'm not sure. I don't know all about that stuff. No, it's not, because that's just what. So if I was getting married, someone forgot to tell me who my husband will be. Drinking my coffee. But it's that's my US type 2, and then third will be the Chilean coffee out of the DAF rations. I could drink that coffee all the time. That's how much I like that DAF. I will not Yeah, if so, well, that's, if someone does want to marry me, he would have to accept the cat. Of course, the cat would have to accept that person or just don't bother with him. Although my ancestors came over from Poland in 1849. Viper GTS in the house. Thanks for dropping in. You're looking at a Norwegian Arctic field ration vegetarian. It's a pasta and tomato sauce, but it's a light colored sauce, almost like a cream sauce. According to the ingredients, there's not any cream or dairy in it, but it looks like it. Easy money. Oh, that would be awesome, Mike. I have not had a cherry coffee down here. Viper, what I'm the winner of. Get stream. So I will have to catch up on that one later. I'll go on to his channel. I would do it now, but I don't want to get a copyright strike for showing another YouTuber's channel. Happening to me what happened to another YouTuber. He got a copyright strike showing his own channel. I do like these dried fruits. They're kind of like, if you remember those there's some other dried fruits that I've had that, like dried mangoes, have a bit of the sugary type, although not as much as this. These are sugar like those French jelly bars or those candy orange slices or things like that. That's what these kind of remind me of. Muesli or oatmeal or other breakfast porridge. Yeah, it's content. It might be hard if you type the name, the proper profile picture. Yeah, you can probably find some good comedy channels here on YouTube. There is the Carlos Perry in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Hope things are going well for you and the little guy. Country Living in the house. Welcome. Thanks for dropping in. First time from Central. I might have to either or just I left on July 31st for the family camping trip, which we do every year. So obviously I wouldn't be streaming then. And I came back on a Friday. So the next Sunday I was live. Oh, cool. So hello to the little guy. You post pictures is, you can't help but my younger nephew was supposed to join us on that trip, but he got the big nasty, so he had to stay home and quarantine. Can be an issue staying cool, especially if your AC craps out, like mine did earlier this month. But I got a new one with a remote. I like having this thing because up into the wall, get at it. So having the remote makes it a lot easier. There is Robert in the house. Thanks for dropping in. Well, you missed most of my vegetarian pasta with tomato sauce from Norwegian Arctic Field Ration Menu 12, but I still have some. It's got good flavor, but I wish it had a little bit of garlic in there. Sauce. I'm not using it. I'm going to say this. And this lemon candy, which kind of looks like lemon heads. Maybe, no, not lemon heads, but just like a lemon candy. But these saw a bit of heat because some of them are stuck together. And it was a bit sticky, but it would have been a lot worse if I was still having to deal with my previous air conditioner because I was sweating bullets. That Cranberry First Strike bar was literally melting in my hand. Oh, wow, Elsie. That had to be annoying. My oldest sister had that with her younger nephew. Yeah, she had heartburn like crazy. When my niece had my great niece, hers was not all that bad. Or that's not gonna fly. This would more likely be the culprit. Yeah, some alcohols can be very acidic. A tequila plant. That was very interesting to see the process of the tequila being made out of the maguey. I have issues. Sometimes I can get a real harsh reflux, and I have to go for an antacid like Tums. I don't get that often, but sometimes I just have to have that to knock that down. Melted the top. Yeah. Did you have to call the fire department? I've told this story before, but that reminds me of that time that I was with the group and we were in a church having dinner, and it was Indian food. And this really, really dark skinned black man was sitting across from me. And guys, hot chilies that's really small, and he bit into that thing, and you could literally see steam coming off of his head. I mean, that chili bit back. And I could also see him turning red. If his skin is water, no, you got to go for bread or a cracker. So, because you drink water after eating something super spicy, it just makes it worse. So, there was bread on the table, so he ate a piece of bread, and then he asked, had milk that you could request, so he asked for, but he was laughing about But that was my first time having Indian food. But hey, depending on where you get that food from, what region, just like in Chinese or Latin cuisine, some of it can be, like, and that one happened to be one of those super hot chilies. Oh, thanks for dropping in. I just finished off the main, which is the vegetarian pasta and tomato sauce. Menu 12. Memory.com. Yeah, John, I will check your channel later after I get done with my live. And then I'll deal with that little thing that you did. But I'll thank you, friends. These are little pieces of sugared dried fruit. No, I mean, if hot food has to still have flavor. Yeah, I'm one of those who likes hot food, but I have to be careful with it. I can't be eating super spicy stuff every day because it'll just make my GERD a whole lot worse. I don't want that to happen, but I do enjoy I want the flavor along with the heat. I don't want to have to call the Des Moines Fire Department to deal with it. Yep. There are those chili heads who really chase the heat. There used to be a show on the Food Network about two guys more experience with different chilies because he is of, his family is of some Latin descent, and he has an accent like he learned English as a second language. And then another guy who is not so experienced with it, and they go out seeking really, really hot foods, but still they want the flavor. I forget what that show is called. Yeah, if you get some of the extracts, those are concentrated forms of those flavors. Like there are fruit extracts, there are vegetable extracts, herb extracts that food companies like to use when making their products. Yeah, there may be, like, this has vinegar in it. They put that in for flavor. Well, tear gas is a different chemical than your average pepper spray. Pepper spray is just a concentrated capsaicin, highly concentrated, where tear gas is a blend of chemicals. Yeah, it would probably have some kind of an accelerant. Many years ago, I used to carry a pepper spray, but the dang thing leaked all over the is or my pocket because I had it on my keys. I didn't want that stuff to go over, so I ditched that one, and I haven't carried it since. But I might invest in some of those in the near future. Just as a personal safety thing. In the city, so prepared to deal with whatever. Yeah. Yeah. You just don't want to be downwind and just spray it upwind or to the side, because that could come back to haunt you. Put stuff like that in a place like that because I don't have a car. It would have to be in my purse, in my get home bag, or in my pocket if I'm wearing something with a pocket. As long as it's in a well-made container, the leaking, as like the one I had years ago, is literally leaking out of the little, the business end of it, where when you push on it to spray it, it would come out of that little hole. It was leaking out of that hole. Because whatever got in use didn't make a good seal, and it was leaking out of that. Yeah, you want to check those things. If they've been in heat, that might change something. That liquid. Now, the one I had was in a little leather holster or a case, but it did not cover the nozzle completely. Marilyn Skull in the house? Yeah, I know. Told me about it. And I said that I will deal with that after my live. I would go ahead and do it now on another phone, but I don't want to get a copyright strike for showing someone else's channel. You don't want to write business end if it leaks. Marilyn, I do thank you for dropping in. Unfortunately, I ate all the food. Lemon candies, which look like the lemon drops, different than the lemon heads, but they're kind of sticking together in the package, so I'm not going to open them. Away. I would have to do this to break them up, but I'm going to deal with that later. I chose not to use the spicy sauce. And I'm not much of a gum chewer, but I do save these. By the way, since Marilyn is here, you have to check out anneandallen.com. Get yourself a gooey butter cake or some coffee that just like I shamelessly plugged for an MRE. I want to try another flavor of the gooey butter cake, but that's a hard decision. The espresso chip one is awesome. Really did enjoy that one. Haven't tried it. That's my answer to that one. Oh, I was wondering if you're gonna kick into that. That would be awesome. Yes, easy money. You need to get some gooey butter cakes. Some coffee to go along with it. But I just don't know which flavor I would go with next time. There's just so many of them. course, it would have to be one for the unusual things, just to mix it up, because I like to be different. Like the consistency of the powder. They need to fix that. That's my only complaint about these rations is the drink mixes. They need to fix that problem. Oh, wow. These gooey butter, because I have not seen them up here in Iowa. Of course, when I was in Arkansas, the only time I actually went grocery shopping was when I was with my parents when I was not at college to do the grocery. I never really shopped for myself because there's no city buses where I was. If I wanted to ride the city bus, I would have had to gone to Little Rock. Yeah, Maryland's gooey butter. Unless it's another one of Maryland's gooey butter cakes. You know, if you were up here, if you brought some of those up here for cake judging, you would win it. And I think people would just be all over that. If more people up here could sample those, they would never. Ooh, yeah, the key lime would be awesome. I love key lime. I think that would make a great flavor for gooey butter cake if it hasn't been done. I still have that brochure with all the flavors that were available when I ordered that espresso chip, and I almost didn't get it because somehow it got delivered to a vacant apartment that was being remodeled. To get something out, and he found my package and brought it to me. And that was my birthday cake because I ordered it to celebrate my own birthday. Okay, good night, Marilyn. Thanks for dropping in. But when you do what she does and you love it, it's worth it. I have to look on the, try to figure out what my order would be. I'm still waiting on my Minotaur box that I ordered. Now that order got misplaced, but Bob found it, but it was so close to my trip time. I told Bob to delay shipping it until after I got back. And then, of course, Kentucky had those floods. You know, it was. So I don't. Oh, thanks for dropping in, Robert. Hope to see you another time. So they're, and what they have done is they just throw extra stuff in the box to reward the patient. So, you know, I'm patient about it. I have a tracking number. I just don't have a ship date yet. So I don't know what I will do for next on what I can get in. But like I said, I will hit on John's channel. Yeah, Mike, I bet that having to deal with another, you know, just another facility issue. I don't know what, but the flood in Kentucky that they've had, that was nasty. Kind of does a tray for those who are here for the first time. I got this way back in 1983 when my class in high school, we had a fundraiser Tupperware party to raise money for a senior class trip. And so I myself, and then I bought a couple of containers for my mom. You know, I happened to have the money to do so. So I did that. And I had only used it a few times before getting into rations. And when I won that F-17, I won it while, you know, after I had moved here, or it was late 2016. I used this tray to review that one, and I exclude sometimes use, and that came with a couple of little green cups. So I switched between this Tupperware tray and that green one. So I use this one when I have a freeze-dried entree that has the potential to make a lot of food. Or if I have wet pack hot foods that I actually want to combine, that would take up more space than the middle section of that green tray. Oh yeah, I mean, I will do more ration reviews. I just need rations. I have a few retorts that I could get into, and I have some entrees, the freeze-dried ones from Minotaur. Part of my emergency. Thanks for coming in, Mike. And yeah, I put together a bucket of plus a few other food supply bucket that I can grab and go if I need to. Say if I have to leave on foot and I don't have a ride, I throw my bug out bag on my back, grab that food bucket, and go. I got some of those Minotaur cheesecake mix. I got drink mix, is 3-in-1 coffees. I got a few of the breakfast porridges and mueslis and things like that in there. So that's what I set that up as. I may throw a couple of small items in there, like sealed packs of mints, because I have a few of those that I have bought, but they're the kind of, because they're hard, like Tic Tacs or the hard spree or sweet tarts or those conversation hearts. Anything that's a hard like that to melt in heat, like these. Those are the kinds that I stock, that I save. Yes, it would. Of course, you can get people off grid for quite some time, or they're able to get a better setup because of where they live, what their resources are. But, channels like that, but not, those would be good channels to check out so you can learn some things. I live in an apartment. I have to live in a city because I don't drive, but I still like to watch those channels because I can still pick up on ideas that if for some reason I lose power here for a long time, I still can do something. I would create more halal rations. That's what I would do. Because that would give Muslim soldiers and even Jewish soldiers something that they know they can eat without any issues, compromising their faith. That's what I would do. Yep, you can still keep learning. After the 2020 derecho that smacked Iowa 2 years ago this month, I did not have any kind of backup power. And then last year, at 2 different times, I bought 2 mini power stations so that now I can have something to charge my phone off of. I can charge, say, for instance, this flashlight, I can charge off of that. This happens to be an Olight. So I could charge this. Plus I keep spare batteries for these because I can take the battery out of this one, pop a new one in if I need to, but I could charge it off of my mini power station. I could charge a lantern off of it. I also have a ham radio, but I don't have a license, so I can only listen, but I do not have the kind that I can charge by USB. I have to plug it into a wall outlet to charge it, but I do have a spare battery for that one. But I have one of those emergency radios that I can charge by USB or use the crank. Yeah, I wish I could be out in nature all the time, but then I would have to have someone take me into town in order to get what I need if I can't order online for delivery. I do want to get a ham license. And I'd like to get a GMRS license too. That's a slightly different service than ham, but there are radios that can do both ham and GMRS. I don't think my little Baofeng can do the GMRS, but I can listen to NOAA weather radio on it. I can listen to FM radio on it. So that's nice to have that. Yeah, if you get the right equipment, you can set yourself up as a ham repeater. That way, if someone else wants to communicate on their radio, but cannot reach who they want to talk to or code to, depending on what they're using, but they can hit on your repeater if you have yourself set up that way, then you could bridge that gap between the sender and the receiver. I have a UV5R Plus, and I've had it for I think 3 years. I got it before the big nasty hit. And for a while, I was able to pick up some other hams and some, police and fire stuff, but I think they've changed their frequencies, so I don't hear those as much. I also have a handheld CB radio, but I don't have a decent antenna for that yet. I have one of those whip antennas for my ham radio. But I think I have a lot of issues with where I'm at for picking up signal. Although I haven't tried it outside on my deck. Oh, wow. That must be a newer model than my UV5R because there have been new versions of that radio that have come out that have slightly different model numbers. But I think it would be awesome to have one of those ham base stations like Iridium 242 has. Now, he does a lot with his stuff. He goes out and works at events, like if there's a parade through his town, his ham club will go out and they will set themselves up along the route. You know, they get called up to do that. I think basically just monitoring the event traffic. Then there's his annual ham field days where operators will just go onto their radios and just, you know, reach out to whoever else might be on. I had gone to a couple of local ham club meetings, but I kind of lost track of them. And I just haven't gone since. I think they're still meeting at the same place. I just have to reconnect with them. Yeah, living in an apartment, I don't know how I can ground. That would be my issue. I don't know what I can ground to. My housing on that my air conditioner unit sits in, that is metal, but I don't know if I can just attach a wire to that and call that grounded. I don't know how well that would work. There is a power outlet below it that the power cord for that AC is plugged into. And because it's a 3-prong hole, that would accept the ground plug. Yeah, I think everybody has. I have 12 likes so far. I think everybody that has come in here has hit a thumbs up. Except me, I can't do that. Unless I go into my channel on another device, then I could do it, but I generally don't hit the thumbs up on my own stuff. Even on Facebook, I don't do that. I don't know, I think it would be conceited of me to do that. But that's just how I am, but yeah, I don't know about grounding inside my apartment. But I may just take my radio out onto my deck and see if just being outside would allow me to pick up something. Same with my CB radio. Yeah, my old high school had tried to start a ham club, but because it was my senior year and it started kind of in the middle of the school year, only got so far. And then I graduated and I went south and I never got beyond some of the electrical theory and stuff like that, and maybe learning some Morse code. But that was pretty much it. That's as far as I got. Till a few years ago, watching different YouTube channels show different kinds of radios, and that got me interested in getting one. So that's why I bought my UV5R Plus. Yeah, finish off my peach drink. One thing I like about the Norwegian drinks, they don't leave that funky residue that you get with U.S. ration drinks, especially the red ones. Oh, wow. Yeah, I could do that. I got some magnets. I could stick a magnet on that air conditioner housing because it is steel. But as far as using it as a grounding object, I don't know how well that would work. Since I'm not on the first floor. I would have to ask someone who knows a whole lot about that stuff just to see if that would even be worth trying. Then, of course, I would have to deal with the cat. Speaking of antennas, also on the Iridium 242 channel, he has a video where he made a wire antenna that he wraps around like a paracord spool tool. He put alligator clips on, I think, one end that he can clip to the antenna of the radio. Then he could literally throw the other end up into a tree. And so he has a video on how he made that antenna, and I think it's like 20 feet long. Yeah, he has a dipole. He's got one of those in his backyard. But because I'm not on the ground floor and I don't have my own yard, I can't do that. So I would have to come up with something totally different. Because I don't think you can get many dipoles. Wow. Now that would be something. Yeah, I got another like in here, and there's only 3 left in here, so I'm not boring anyone with all the technical talk. Yep, that would be something cool, but I would have to find some way to do that here in this apartment without drawing too much attention to myself. See, that's one thing I would want to avoid is drawing attention to myself with some funky looking wire hanging out of my air conditioner housing. I mean, I'd love to be able to put something literally through that because there are slits in it on the outside for ventilation. I'd love to be able to just take a long wire, run through that, and throw it up into the birch tree. I think mine, I can receive both. I just can't hear. And throw the other end up into the birch tree. That I've collected so much bark from that's fallen onto the ground. Yeah, that birch tree has dropped enough bark where I have filled several quart bags. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty much right in front of my apartment and the person who is next to me. So if I could get an antenna to go out into that tree. That would be awesome, but that would be a bit of a challenge. Wouldn't want to draw attention. I mean, in the summer I could hide it more because of the leaves, but in the winter it would be more noticeable. And I just got interrupted briefly. But yeah, I do want to figure that out one of these days. And this is the bottle that I have my water in. I found this at Walgreens. It's a double wall, insulated, so it doesn't get cold. I keep it filled up, so when I'm cleaning up, I'll refill this, throw it back into the fridge. I keep other bottles of water in there. That's part of how I store water. Containers of my food. I just have it everywhere. Somewhat organized, but some things had to be moved around when the maintenance came in to do my put everything back where it was. I just haven't done it yet. But yeah, I store water, I store food, all the matches and little fuel tablets like what comes out of French and Russian rations, Spanish rations, Lithuanian rations. I have those. In fact, I have those in a 50 cal ammo box. So I got matches and the fuel tabs and those flat stove plates that you fold to make a little S-bit type stove out of. Get those out of French rations, Spanish, Lithuanian. That's where I've gotten those, so I keep all those in that ammo can. And that does a good job of hiding that fishy smell. Now that is one thing I don't have. I don't have one of those scanners. My friend I used to go to school with who died several years ago. She had one of those scanners, and she enjoyed listening to the EMS or fire department channels more than the police channels, but she did listen to that. But that's a good way to get some dirt on stuff going on. So that would be a good thing to have too. Yeah, I was listening to that when I could pick up the police channels on my Baofeng. I was listening to that a lot, trying to pick up on stuff, just to find out if it was coming near here. Because we had that issue too a few years ago. Not as bad as in other places, but we did have some of that. And in fact, I went to a grocery store that is near the DART bus station. The store literally had to close during the day for a couple of days so that they could repair the building and get their inventory restocked and checked over. They had to inspect the coolers and freezers and whatever else, because that store is also a place where you can get food to eat there, and I have done that a few times. It's like a sit-down restaurant area, or you could order it to go, or just whatever. They had to repair some of that area. And there were even windows busted out in the bus station building. So that had to be repaired. But yeah, we did have some of that here. And I avoided that. I just stayed home and just watch YouTube videos and listen to my Baofeng. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this one done. I want to get these cleaned up, and then I want to check out John's video so I can contact him to claim my prize. So I do want to thank you all for watching, and who knows, maybe there might be something, if I get it in time, there might be something in that box that I would be reviewing next Sunday, so who knows. So anyway, I do want to thank you all for watching, and catch you on the flip side.